Yet we often fail to recognize that our thoughts are guided by the well-trodden paths established within our minds by these ongoing dialogues. If we wish to alter the course of our lives and move towards the direction we desire, we must shed the weight of our old conversations. In the Bible, this process is referred to as abandoning the old man and renewing oneself in the spirit of the mind. Our speech is a mirror image of our thoughts. To change our thoughts, we must first change our speech. That is, the mental conversations we hold within ourselves. The world we inhabit is a realm of infinite possibilities for mental transformations. Everything we manifest in our lives is intricately tied to the mental conversations we unconsciously engage in. But as civilized beings, we must become aware of those conversations and act with a purpose. Our mental conversations attract the course of our lives. Indeed, the conversations we hold within ourselves play a significant role in shaping our experiences. As long as we maintain the same internal dialogue, our personal history remains stagnant. Attempting to change the external world before addressing our internal conversations is akin to battling against the natural order of things. We often abandon ourselves to the negative internal conversation, and yet we hope to possess control of our life, without realizing that our own negative internal conversations are the cause of disappointments and misfortunes. We may continue to wander in a never-ending cycle, attributing our problems to external forces, rather than recognizing the true source within ourselves. Our external experiences are reflections of our inner dialogues and mental conversations. What we focus on internally manifests in our reality, echoing the thoughts and beliefs we hold. Our present mental conversations, if filled with negativity, move towards the future to confront us as wasted or inverted words. What truly matters is our actions in the present, even if their effects might not be immediately visible. We call forth change not with loud voices, but with intense internal attention, created through careful listening. The events and relationships in life are a reflection of our internal world. Speaking internally from a place of fulfilled desires is the key to conscious creation. Our internal dialogues continually manifest around us in the events we encounter. Thus, to see and hear the reality we desire externally, we must first envision and hear it within. If we master the art of controlled internal speech, we discover the excitement of confidently speaking what we want to manifest before it happens, solidifying our belief in its realization. Consciously utilizing imagination allows us to transform and channel the immense creative energies of our internal discussions, from the mental and emotional realms to the physical. What is your goal? Does it align with your internal dialogue? Fulfilling your goal requires harmony between your inner conversations and desired state. Just as two cannot walk together without agreement, your internal dialogue must agree with your desired reality. The correct internal discourse is that which reflects the discourse of a fulfilled ideal. Ancient wisdom speaks of the two gifts bestowed upon man, the mind and speech, equating to a form of immortality. When used correctly, these gifts guide us towards divine realms, even beyond the confines of the physical body. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word is the offspring of the mind, and it holds the essence of vibration, resonating out into the world and attracting back into our lives what aligns with our internal frequencies. Our internal conversations, akin to the Word of God, shape the life we create both within ourselves and around us. The union of the Word and mind gives birth to life, as spoken in ancient teachings. You and your internal conversation are one, and transforming your mind necessitates transforming your internal dialogue. To achieve your aspirations, ensure your inner conversations resonate with your envisioned reality. As the Bible emphasizes, the Word is close to us, residing in our mouths and hearts, empowering us to choose life over death, good over evil, and blessing over curse. Our thoughts must be focused on what is good and pure, for our future is formed by the divine word, which is our internal speech. In the light of Asia, it is said, do you see fields there? Sesame was sesame, corn was corn, silence and darkness knew. These words reveal the profound truth that a person's destiny is shaped by the fidelity of their origins. Just as sesame yields sesame and corn yields corn, the seeds of success must be planted to reap a bountiful harvest of achievement. If we desire success, we must plant the seeds of success in our minds. We must assume and live as if we already possess it. The key lies in the ideas we accept as truth within ourselves, not necessarily in external facts. External facts may contradict our suppositions initially, but by persisting in our beliefs, they will eventually align with our reality. The outcomes follow our assumptions rather than preceding them. Transforming our inner speech is akin to donning the attire of a new person. Our internal conversations, though unheard by others, have a profound impact on our future conditions. To bring our ideal self to life, we must define who we want to become and faithfully assume the feeling of our fulfilled wish. Through this faith-filled supposition, our ideal self will find expression in reality. Envision yourself as the person you aspire to be, holding steadfast to that conception. Life is a training ground for shaping images through imagination. Test this power and witness life align with the model of your imagination. Your inner conversations reveal how you use or misuse this potent tool. Negative internal dialogues, particularly those filled with envy and malevolence, sow seeds for future battlefields and prisons. Habitually, people have become attached to such damaging conversations, using them to justify failure, criticize others, and revel in the suffering of others, perpetuating violence in the world. To attain success, abandon the old conversation of the unsuccessful man and embrace the new conversation of your fulfilled self. This inner transformation becomes the price for achieving greatness. The time has come for us to embrace conscious responsibility and co-create heaven on earth. We must wield our imagination deliberately and lovingly, choosing words in harmony with our ideals. Imagination is more than a mere toy or daydream. It is the gateway to reality. It becomes the pathway to the desired state, embodying its truth and breathing life into it. Imagination beckons us to fully experience our dreams in the present. It flows continuously through the portals of the now. As we envision our future scenarios as if they were unfolding now, we may encounter resistance. This resistance serves as a crucial sign, drawing our attention to potential blockages hindering us from reaching our desired future self. It requires our awareness and focused attention. Our current experiences, which we may not fully comprehend, are linked to the unrecognized forces of our internal conversations and the states of mind they generate. If we encounter undesirable circumstances, it's a sign that a change is needed in our mental diet. Just as man does not live on bread alone, but on the word that comes from the mouth of God, which is our mind, we must nourish our minds with noble and loving thoughts. Use imagination as a participant, not a mere spectator. Channel its energy from the mental and emotional to the physical level, expanding your senses. Envision seeing, hearing, and touching what you desire intensely, infusing your imaginary state with the tones and sensations of reality. This active use of imagination awakens the spirit of achievement and relief within us, far from passive acceptance of appearances. Picture yourself elsewhere as if it were here, bridging the gap between then and now. Envision yourself in that desired place, embodying the version of yourself you wish to become. Pay close attention to your internal conversations during this imaginative exercise. If your inner dialogue aligns with what you would audibly say and do in that envisioned reality, you have successfully bridged the gap between the future and the present. However, if you encounter resistance within your internal conversations, view it as an invitation to delve deeper into your thoughts and emotions. These resistances may point to limiting beliefs, unresolved fears, or hidden doubts that need acknowledgement and resolution. Try this exercise, and you will witness its transformative power.
Powerful, powerful words, powerful words. And very, very true, very, very true. I only just recently came across that one there, and I had to analyze it a few times because it really just broke down exactly what we should be aiming for when we are in our meditative state, to form a healthy conversation with your inner dialogue and allow it to align with your purpose, what you are actually working on. Why would you have conflict between your inner and outer being? And if you want to look on it in a tangible way that we can see, the yin and yang, the in and out, we have to be in harmonization with both. Okay? I'm joined, and I'm hoping that got my fingers crossed here. Got my fingers crossed. We're joined we're joined by our sister Sandra. Greetings, my sister. No, unmute. Why is it not working? Why are you not coming through? I don't know. Why are you not coming through? You're muted at the moment. You're muted. I don't know why. Speak. No. I don't know what's going on. I'm being challenged this morning. I'm going to tell you that now, people, my family. Let's try the in and out business again, yeah. All right then. All right, just give me the thumbs up. Just giving me the thumbs up. Okay. So, why do I want to do that? Okay then. Yes. So that the in and out, the inner dialogue and the outer dialogue, and this is what we have to really strengthen ourselves. This more on the risings. This is what we have to do. We have to strengthen ourselves. It's another day. Today's Friday. Right. We got it back here. I heard her come in, and I'm hoping that she's going to come through on the audio.
Hi, greetings.
Perfecto. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect. And I actually enjoyed that recording. On so many different levels. And it's interesting what you said in terms of listening to it more than once. And I believe there's lots of things we should be listening to more than once, because as we gain an understanding, inner standing, we're then at a different space and we can hear what's been said on another level that can elevate us, assuming we are humble enough to listen.
Well, the thing is, it's not even the listening; it's the implementation of it, and then obviously to formulate your own dialogue as well. right?
Mm.
Remember that is only a guide. A lot of these things are only guides. A lot of our books of oh, I just had the word on the tip of my tongue there. Philosophical writings, right? And I include all these ones that they call like scriptures and seers and everything else. So philosophical writings that comes from the thoughts, from the inners, yeah. Philosophical writings. These are only guides, right? Some people will take them and use them as literal. This is how it should be, like laws, laws, rules. But I would say the majority of them are guides. Yeah, we're supposed to formulate ourselves and our dialogue with which will coincide in emulating the essence of those guides and those philosophical teachings. Yeah. Even the messages and things of the past, they were guides for progress. They weren't instructions. They were guides. You know. And even if we say, okay, I'm gonna utilize some of those words from the past, and this is what we should be following. No, that was for them. We have to see how it fits with us now and adjust to do what we need to do. Right? Brilliant that they were at the time. Forward thinking that they were in many cases as well. And as I say that, what comes to my mind is the speech that I played yesterday on the Blacknificent show of Marcus Garvey. And
that name just come to my mind. I would call his more than a guide. I would say he's a blueprint.
Well, there you go. Right? Now, if everybody was in the mindset and the level of execution of Marcus Garvey, instead of still standing behind this brother, we're supposed to be level and ahead now. Life has moved on. We should have moved on as well. You understand? You understand? You get where I'm coming from now, right? And yes, and if it sounds like I'm having a go at everybody, yes, I am having a go, right? Myself included. Right? Our standard of our performance and living and existence right now is substandard and kind of shameful in most circumstances. Extremely shameful. Don't let me take over the whole talking there to this morning. Grand risings, my sister. And good night to you. Good night to you as well.
But I hear what you're saying in terms of from time to time we need to do that self-analysis. We need to be not only talking about him over there, her over there, the brother over there, the sister over there. We need to look into our own inner self and establish whether or not we are upholding. And as you said, we've had the blueprints, we've had the discussions. In some senses, we're still sitting back with the knowledge and the wisdom that we have today, standing on those shoulders, and we're still no further forward. So yeah, I hear you on that one. Definitely hear you on that one.
You know, I'm, you know, I am so glad that we are in this time that we are able to access information and share it readily as
Mm,
well,
mm,
right? And I'm very, very, very blessed and privileged to be here on the galaxy of
mm,
Fui.net, right? Reaching out literally around the world at this present time as I'm speaking.
mm,
And and I know that there are those out there who are the silent listeners, those who are getting ready to go to work, those who
mm,
are on vacation, long-term vacation, because it's the summer holidays now for the school, for the children. And I know that there are some children out there who are hearing, but they're not listening. But at the same time, be patient. Be patient with them, my parents. Be
mm,
patient, because
mm,
even though they may not be listening directly,
mm,
trust me, there will become a time when what we're talking about will resonate with them. It
mm,
will resonate with them, and I'm going to come with it. I'm going to come with a technique for studying, super studying in a few strong's time. I just want
mm,
to iron out how I'm going to present it.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
but I think it would be great for us to do the super studying. Right,
mm.
I've got a call here, and I'm hoping that it'll come through on you'll be able to hear it clearly as much as what we're talking here. Greetings, greetings, my brother Akram.
Greetings.
Yeah, good rising, my brother. How are you?
Doing good. Oh, okay. Our sister can hear you clearly as well. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. What's that? Is that you?
Yeah, you can hear me okay?
Is that you? Is that you, brother Akram?
Yeah, so far I
Oh,
give thanks,
hold on.
I always give thanks to many years
Okay.
ago, for not to being here, you know what I mean? And all the challenges, as you rightly say,
Mm-hmm.
so many challenges that could have taken me out, you know what I mean? But I'm here, so been kept for a reason, you know? Yeah. So, and that's why I have to interact and keep doing, because, you know, there's no point in keeping the knowledge and wisdom and things to yourself, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Share what you can.
This is the whole cycle of us learning as well. You know, because
Well, yes,
if you
yes,
don't
as you
share,
pointed out,
mm,
the messages from those before,
mm-hmm,
from the things that we read and whatever, as you
mm,
say, it's a guide,
mm-hmm,
because, you know, one of the things I've come to learn and understand, we human beings, we are human beings, and we don't change. You know, the fact is, when I say don't change, there's a protocol for us, and we can only live by that. We build our houses saying, you know, a house is a house. You know, I mean, whether it's round, whether it's got glass, whether it's built of mud, whether it's built of timber, it's still a house.
mm-hmm.
You know, no matter whether we whether we build it with gold, it's still a house that we live in. You know,
you know what come to my mind when you said that? You know the cap of the Giza pyramid, right? That apparently that was gold. That was a gold cap on that as well. Right?
Okay.
You know, oh boy, what a phenomenal feat of engineering that is. I'm telling you.
Well, you know, I ask people many times, why do you think? What do you think? What is the wisdom of the pyramid? You know, when you go to the pyramid, what wisdom do you take in, apart from the magnificent structure,
okay,
how it's built and whatever? What do you actually, you know, because the pyramid is not only the only structure that has been built like that, because I mean, as I said, you know, I mean, again, from my reading, from my understanding, you know, people before, but they used to dig down, like down under the ground. They used to build massive structures.
You
You
see,
understand?
you see. Yeah.
And it's only after a certain time that they start going up, but mostly it used to be going down. You know,
Excavated,
and there's been from fantastic feats of engineering. If we was to really scout down many places, we would probably find those phenomenal structures of engineering that human beings did before. You see.
Well, that's it. That's it. Okay, then. Okay, here's my theory. You asked for it. Oh, Sister Sandra.
Yeah.
What is your theory on the pyramids and on their existence? Or do you have a theory on that?
I don't have a theory.
Okay.
No, I don't have a theory.
Okay then. All right then. No, let me enlighten you into what my theory is. Right, and it's my theory. Me one. Okay. Around this planet, there has been structures, right, of places of worship and observation of constellations being the planetary positions. Yeah, each of these structures, I feel, is a reflection of the constellations in one form or another, right? And the energies that have been emitted, and they were utilized within the time of when they were structured, when they were built, right? So I don't know. For me, that is how I see it. Okay, right. So basically, the structures which are dotted all around this planet, right? They are places of where there was like energy forces all based around those type of things, and the people of the time knew how to utilize those energy forces of the time. So therefore, that's my little theory around it.
Yeah, well, no matter what you said is correct to a degree, you know what I'm saying? Because as I said, it's there, we marvel at it and so forth and things like that. And as I said, when we see that, we marvel at the people who put it together. And as you say, where their minds were and everything. And when we think today, or we have genius minds, or we've moved on, civilization, whatever, and when we go back to that, how can we think the minds of those people who put that thing together? You know what I mean? Because people are marveled and baffled by it. However, the other part that I look at it also is, as I said, is the fact that it was actually not a house, but it's a house for the dead. Because imagine you build all that structure for one person to go in. Maybe some others thrown in. Okay, and on top of that, they put in, because the mind behind that is the afterlife. Everywhere we go, people have this vision of what the afterlife may be. Okay, and they put things in place what they think, is what from their understanding of what they may read or what they may be told or whatever comes to their mind. But they somehow or the other, people have this notion of the afterlife. What is it going to be like?
Something, Brother Akram, I wouldn't be surprised even if they tried to resurrect the dead as well in there.
Well, of course. I mean, of course.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But we have been told that there have been many times that some of the people of old did resurrect some of the dead. I mean, people did come back to life. but obviously not come back to life to live forever because they still die. Because one of the things is we will die.
Yeah.
But it's just for the people, again, for the people at the time to see and probably tell us the tale of, oh, you know what, this person died and this person did such and such and the person came back to life and whatever like that. You understand? You know, so that means there can be a resurrection. You know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what I'm going to say is that this, you know, we bury our people with all these treasures and everything like that because they were preparing for the afterlife.
Yeah.
How many years ago that this was done? Now come 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years later, here we are. We invade those same tombs.
Yeah,
and take away the treasure.
Sacrilege, that is, man.
You see what I'm saying? We take away those treasures, and those who were there could not protect it. It, you know, at least we, you know. So then it's something for us to reflect. Wait a minute, this man took all of this gold with him and so forth. How did it benefit him? What was the, you know what I'm saying? Because today people are scrounging for wealth and storing of wealth and all the things like that.
Do you believe, would you believe though, that, okay then, for instance, now you have your family area, you have your family burial area, right? And you know, as time goes on, your family moves from that area and another family come into that area. Do you think that they would go, and they know it's a burial ground, do you believe they would dig up the ground to go and take things from the body? Do you believe they would do that?
Yes, that is what has happened over the years. Because as I said, you know, it you know, because some people take it as sacrilege, other people they couldn't care less. You know what I'm saying? And as I said, you know, because what people is looking at is the treasure that's there. Hey, this is gold. This is whatever, and it can benefit me. You know what I mean? So
it's a shame.
So
it's a shame. It's a real shame, though.
Give too much credence to those who it was before. You know, I mean, what they consider of it, because that's what we see today. I mean, people are going in those tombs, taking out the treasures and scattering them around the world and things like that. You know, so to me, that's a lesson for us to learn. I mean, it's something for us to envision, for us who are storing gold and storing things and so forth. What really is life? You know what I mean? Can we take anything with us? As they always say, you know, we came into this world with nothing, and that's my journey. Because as I say, I always look at life of a child and saying, why do I hate? Why do I love? What is the benefit of all of these things? Well, you follow what I'm saying?
You better make sure you got your Oyster card, I tell you now.
You see? So you know, I mean, you reflect on all these things. I mean, I'm fighting. What am I for? What is, you know?
Listen, I think at some stage, right, we all go through that. What am I doing this for? What do you think on that, Sister Sandra?
Yeah, I as whether or not it's a fleeting or whether or not it's a lifelong thought process, I'd agree that that reflection does take place. Where we don't know the answers, we will continue to search. It just depends on where you're looking.
It's one of those things is that I think it's one of, you know, when you have that aha moment, you know, and I think that we all go through that at some stage in our lives. Some of us look for the aha, and then those who don't look for it, they seem to get it more often than the ones who are looking for it. Because I don't know, it's like the kick up the arse, isn't it? The kick up the arse, like, boy, I better change up, you know. I better fix up now, you know. When you like when you're a teenager, boy, you get them regular, you know. And it's one of those things that you just go through it's one of the growing pains, isn't it? It's one of the growing pains. Yeah. Type of thing.
Well, you know, that is one of the things that, as I said, I don't always like, because as I said, but as I said, I take wisdom from these things. And you were talking about the lessons learned from those who were before. And to me, one of the things that I used to look at is that of Solomon. Solomon, who they said was the wisest man or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But as I said, that's coming from the Bible perspective. But what the Quran points out is that he prayed to Almighty God, the Creator, that he should be given that which no one else will have after him. That means, you know, because we heard about him having lots of wives, lots of everything, right? You know, things that most people dreamed about that they would want. And he was given all of these things. And when we read to his thing, it says, vanity of vanities, all of this is vanity. It means, you know, I've been given all the things that everybody crave for. I've had, you know, men, they crave for women, so he's got lots of wives, whatever it is, gold, silver, all these things had. So, well, what is the purpose of it? Because I'm going to die anyway. You know, I'm going to die, and what have I benefit from all of these things?
You know, I've read that is probably one of my favorite characters within the scriptures in that way, in that philosophical book there, right? And how to the humility that he actually turned around and was exhibiting in his latter years, you know, and in many ways, I see many of our icons, they go through that process as well. Like Amali, Malcolm, yeah? And El Shabazz, that's what I was looking for. Amali El Shabazz. And also, even what's it called? Martin Luther King. He went through that process as well, right?
Well, even on top of that, Muhammad Ali, because you know,
one
of the things that for me, what he said, you know, what he says is resonate with what you're talking about. He said, and many people probably have not heard this, but I remember because I always pay attention to certain things. And he said, I'm here fighting because, you know, I mean, all those punches he's taking, and battering and everything. He said, you know, I'm fighting because I have something to say. And who will listen to me if I'm nobody? Right? I have to be. But you know, if I'm the greatest, I am so. At least, you know, whatever wisdom or whatever I have to say will be heard. Because people will listen to me. But no matter how much knowledge, wisdom, and everything I have, if I am nobody, you know, I go down and I try to talk. People who will listen to me, who would even remember?
Exactly.
You see?
Exactly.
And the sacrifice that
who will remember?
Right? The sacrifice is made in order to ensure that his voice is heard. You see what I'm saying? All the punishment he's taking, not for himself, but because he wants to deliver something to the people of the world. You see what I'm saying? You know, the sacrifice.
Even in the thought of, like, you know, the demise of I say demise, the disease that he actually had towards the end of his life, you know, he still had the same characteristics within that disease, and exhibited it as often as he could, you know. But I just thought to myself, why? He really took on, you know, being a Muslim, and it was his mainstay strength, while the society and the system was really oppressing him to the extent of that they stripped him of his actually status, but he still was regarded as being the world's greatest anyway.
Well, most certainly. I mean, I remember when they did near the end of the last century, and they was looking at influential people, and he came up
That's
out
right.
there
He was
as
the
number
most.
one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, and
Most influential.
and
Yes, right.
that's to show, as I said, because as I said, I always said, I look at my mother-in-law, and my father as as those that thing. And
Yeah.
to me, life is about not just about you, but about what you can raise, that you can raise up to with others,
And you touched on a point there, and I have to commend you for it again, my brother. Boy, you really coming up with some gems so lately, Your parents, those who are close to you, that you look up to, not the one outside of your household. Those who are doing for you directly. Yeah. Right, because I could say that about my mother. I could say that about my ex-mother-in-law. You understand? And I think to myself, wow, look at the journey that they actually lived. Right? My ex-mother-in-law, I haven't shared this before, but she was one of the secretaries for Kwame Nkrumah. Right? And she said that after that, the only other man that could come any close to him was her husband. Right? And she said that there are very, very few people in the world what will ever be as powerful as a person like Kwame Nkrumah.
Right.
Because obviously she was there right beside him when he got the independence. So like they would have a whole office of secretaries and everything, but she was there seeing that and living it at the same time. So I said, wow, look at this.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, so whatever you do in life, because many people are selfish because they think only of themselves. But but here's people who are saying, no, it's not about me. The sacrifice that they make for, in order to help others to put things in place. As we always talk about those who were before us and what they did. Had they not did what they did, what would be our condition today? And they made great sacrifices. And as you say, we must give them respect. We must always remember the sacrifice that they make. I mean,
absolutely.
And not just take it for granted, because their forethought was not just themselves. Their forethought was others.
That's right.
Many of our people, their only thought is themselves.
And this is why, Brother Alcom, there's no retirement.
Well, I'm going to give you a joke, okay?
Hold on. We got our sister here on the wings, Give her a chance to talk,
Yeah, okay. And then I'll come back with this thing.
Yes. We're on retirement now. You can't retire yet. You're still a young woman.
No, I just love the conversation. I'm not going to be able to stay for all of it. I love the conversation just in terms of giving respect for those who had led the path, and you're speaking about the greats in terms of Martin, Malcolm, Muhammad Ali, our parents in your instance, mother-in-law, my mother, and it's recognizing then that and there was something I was listening to the other day, and I'm going to listen to it again just to get my head around it, and talking about the hero and the hero's journey. And the influence and the impact that happens at certain parts of our lives. And if we're learning the lessons how we transition out of that and the learning the lessons are we taking into consideration what our ancestors or those who walked before us have done or are doing or were doing, and are we able then to build on that information, that knowledge, and that wisdom?
Yeah, the hero's journey. I've got that on audio book, right? And it gives you the, I think it's four agreements, isn't it? 4 agreements.
There's 9 different segments. So yeah, there are agreements. I'm not sure how many.
Yeah. It's I think it's 4 agreements. 4 agreements. It's like an ethos for life. Like how we have the 42. Within the context of that piece of work, there's 4 agreements. It's great. It's good. Nice piece of works, that one there. Nice piece of works.
It is. But it goes back to what's been said so far in terms of what those have done before us, and then what do we do with that information? Do we understand the purpose behind it? And once we can gain some form of understanding, it can then help us as we move forward and either share the knowledge and or build on that said knowledge.
But we should be able to. We should be able to build it.
Well, of course, that is the whole thing. I mean, what did we learn? What do we intend to do with it? You know what I mean? Because it's not just hearing it or having it. It's about what you do with that information that you have received. You see, because if you got that information and you did nothing with it, then it would have been a waste of time to
exactly.
You know. But if you did something with it, you know, if it made some impact within your life, then yes, you know, that would be something. And that's why I want to bring to you this story, because as I said, I might have put it up before, but I want to bring it again, because what happened is that, as I said, I used to go back home to my country since the early days of the 70s, and once I was there were 3 men that really stood out in my life. You know, I mean, when I said I really look at them, and they were really
your mentors
in a way. And you know, as I said, one was a baker, the other one was he had a petrol station, and the other one was a lawyer. And so the one that was a baker, I mean, his family left him a business, and through that business, he could have said, "Hey, I have a shop, and I just bake my bread and I sell my goods and so forth," because the business was going on. But no, he took on. He had boat. He went and get a boat, and he himself, not just other people working for him, he himself. And he goes out in the morning, and he would put out his fish pot and so forth, and get his fish, and come back and, you know, cook them up and sell them and so forth. Then he also had animals in the mountain, you know, cattle, things where he goes on and he looks after all these things before he, you know, and he still has to come back and bake his bread in time for the people, you know, in the morning, you know. And
I'm gonna tell you something after. I'm gonna tell you something after you finish.
Sorry?
I'm going to tell you something after you finish. Carry on.
And the other guy, the one that had the petrol station, very similar thing as well. He had fish, you know, boats to go to catch the fish, because my mother used to buy fish from him, and I saw him because he's just opposite where we live every day. He's carrying all this bush for his goats and other things like that. You know, he goes out, gets them. And, you know, and he still have his petrol station, and, you know, he was also electrician, so he would do wiring for people and other things. And, you know, he was constant. Well, as I said, he was my best friend. That one was my best friend's brother. And my best friend who grew up at the time, he called me a couple of days ago and said, "Oh, you know, his brother Nick has died." you see,
Mm.
passed away.
Mm.
So then we was talking and reminiscence about my country and what was happening and what was transcending there and other things like that, you know. And he was backing me up in many ways. As I said, I think you probably heard me say before that the people in my country became great skilled builders and so forth. And he was telling me, look, yeah, one of them even one person built his whole house.
Mm. Mm.
And Galaxy Clyde can probably explain all of these things because he's a builder himself and came from my country. But what I'm saying is, he said his brother was sick in the hospital for months, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he said they had to tie him on the bed because he didn't want to stay there. He wanted to get up and go and do things.
Mm.
They had to tie him down in the bed. You know, because, you know, he's now in his 80s, whatever, 70s, 80s. And, you know, he still, despite his illness, despite his, he wants to get up and go and get up and do work.
Do work.
So much
That's
so
it.
that time, literally tie him down in the bed.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You know?
Right.
And then you have people out there saying, well, we can't find nothing to do. They're begging, they're stealing, you know, you just put something down in your house.
I'm gonna share something with you. You see what you're explaining there? You sure his name? You sure his name wasn't Jonathan Jones? My father. You sure he wasn't my father? Because it's the same reggae thing that he used to do. Yes, sir.
Right.
Baking. Right. Them man, they don't sleep at night. They just up working from 3-4 o'clock in the morning, right round to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, and then they're still doing other things as well. I'm telling you, them man, they don't stop. They don't stop.
Well, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And the other one, the third one was a lawyer. But as I said, that's the joke I want to give. That he despite he was sick and all this thing, still they literally had time down in the bed.
Yeah.
You know, and people out there saying we can't find anything to do and this and that, you know, and that's the reason why we're in our situation, because I say, having been in Africa, I'm seeing that among many of our people, they're depending on NGOs, and I'm saying to people, you don't have to be crossing the river, just put your mind to work together with other people. You know what I'm saying? You know, put your mind together. Look, it's not just about you, it's about, even if you do something and somebody else is getting some, you know, even if you're doing more than anybody else, doesn't matter. You know, some of you will do more than others.
Exactly.
But the point is, at least you're achieving something. You see,
you have to be doing something. You know, I mean, like even now, one of my things I'm working on is working with other people. I have to work at that myself, right? So even when I'm saying, okay, then I'm gonna put on an event or something, I have to be able to work with other people to ensure that they benefit as much as I do. They can contribute what they can do to contribute to as well. Because there are some, unfortunately, there are some of us in the community who like to be prima donnas. They don't want to do the work, but they will just come and turn up and then expect a fee. You know, but don't worry. There's a space for everybody. There's a space for everybody. You know. So, yeah. Sister Sandra, any last words before you go to your bed, though?
The only thing I was going to say is that tying the patient in the bed isn't just your country thing. And for me, when they'd done that to my mother, it was more, I understood that as she didn't want to be there, and her spirit was strong enough for her to notice where she was and to know where she was and to want to get out. And like you say, you'll have others who have the energy, but they just don't have the mindset in order to do what needs to be done around them. They're not going to go and look at the land and do something on the land and fling down some seeds because it will grow. They're not going to clean the trees. They're not going to take out the machete and clean up the yard because that's, for whatever reason, they choose not to. And I'm going to say that for whatever reason they choose not to.
Did it come out loud? Oh, sorry.
It did.
Yeah, because in the mindset of many people, they don't want somebody else to benefit. Why am I doing this? And he's going to benefit from it. And Dr. Abu talks about it sometimes. We don't want to leave something for our youth or for whatever, or somebody's going to benefit. I hear people talking, I left nothing about, we're going to eat everything and we're going to drink everything. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset. Whereas, as you rightly say, you find many of these other people who have leave legacies for their children, for their grandchildren. You see a business down the road, or this business was started 200, 300 years ago, and still the sons and daughters are still working in that business because you've set something for them to, you understand, And if many of us would be on that mindset, maybe things would be a lot different for us. And that's why we as Africans, we really have to look back into ourselves, because a lot of things have been lost by us. We've lost so much in the context of selfishness. We've given way to selfishness in so many ways.
That's true.
And that is the reason why I could continue to push for the cooperative, hoping that through that cooperative spirit, we will win the love, we will win the respect, we'll win the family back.
I'm gonna ask you, my brother, could you give out the details? And I'm encouraging everybody, because we're on this thing now, right? Especially here on the Galaxy. We talk about the reparations. Now we're going to be living into this reparations, right? So we're taking an action. The action, and I'm going to put it for the Galaxy family, that this today, if you haven't signed up for the ACU, right? That you do this. You get onto that on. You can do it online, isn't that not so?
Yeah. You just go to the website and one can become a member. And as I said, I'm pushing out there that people should try to learn, because, as I said, there's a professor, Professor Wolf, who is a champion. He's not black man, but he's championing that the cooperative movement, the socialist movement, it needs to come back, because he said, he said it's not something new, it's something that has always been there. It's just that the capitalist movement has come and deride it, push it aside and bring it.
Everybody wants to be on top, isn't it? Everybody wants to be on top, but nobody wants to do the foundation. Yeah.
So this is the whole thing of so it destroys the family. It destroys the family. Destroys not only the family.
Yeah.
Well,
so Brother Icon, please call back. Please call back, Brother Icon. Watch out. If you are listening now and you are not a member of the ACU, I'm encouraging you all. Could you give out the details for them to get onto the website, please, my brother?
Yeah, to get on the website is, and as I say, all the information is there, the telephone numbers, whatever, is www.african, African with a K, with a K, not C, and African, one word, cooperative union.com.
Okay, then.
Let me repeat it again.
Yeah.
www.african, African Cooperative Union.com.
So everybody,
yeah.
And I'm saying this to everybody on here, because I want us to do at least one piece of movement every week, every strong here, to do something for our reparatory justice, reparatory process, right? So this week, I would like us to all, if we have not done this yet, right? I would like us to sign up for that. What do you say, Sister Sandra? What do you think about that?
I think that's because we can often do the woe is me and look at all of the negatives, but what I hear is a positive, a step forward in the direction where, as a collective, we can continue to move forward rather than expect someone else to do something for us or do the belly aching and making a whole lot of noises.
Right. So it's www.African Cooperative Union.
Yeah.
Dot,
African Cooperative Union.com.
.com.
and with a K.
Okay.
And
Right.
people can go in there. As I said, it's about us. The cooperative is about all of us working together. And, you know, as I said, my grandfather used to teach me about the ants. You know, he used to constantly tell me, go to the ants and learn. He said, look, they never lend, they never borrow. It's only until my later years I come to realize what he was teaching me, you know. They keep telling me, look, go to the ants and learn, he said. Look, you see, they never lend, they never borrow, right? So this idea of begging these people, no, we're not going to beg them. We're going to take it. We're going to take the things that we want, not, you understand what I'm saying? You know, so by strengthening ourselves, we can then make those demands. As the man from the cooperative came to us, he said, look, there's so much opportunities for you guys. Just need to be structured. So much opportunities that is there for you all, you know, and because as I say, we're paying our taxes in that place, right? And the same way that those Indians come in and they say, hey, wait a minute, there's opportunities here, the Jews or everybody, they take advantage of those opportunities because they're taxpayers. Why are we not doing the same thing?
Exactly. Why are we not doing it? And even for applying for grants and things like this as well. I listen. I'm hands up, right? I believe in doing for self, right? I really do believe in doing that. But you know something, sometimes you have to humble yourself and take a little hand up somewhere, right?
But it's not just hand ups. I mean, the point is they build their nation on us. So we're not really what we're doing is getting what is due to us.
Yeah. That point of discussion has been brought to me on many occasions. And the way how I'm seeing it, I'm not saying that I'm changing my view or my outlook on the doing for self. It's just that I'm looking on it to say, okay then, we've come to them for a discourse of reparatory justice. They have blatantly said they're not going to be discussing that in any way whatsoever, not under the umbrella of this government anyway, right? So therefore, let's turn the ramp up now, right? Well, I don't know. It may get to the state of what Nelson Mandela was doing and everything like that in the disruptive way, but let's do the works that we need to do to ensure that we are able to get a good foundation, so that when we are ready to move, we can make the move in the right way. We've got the strength and those people who are ready to do the works and to do it efficiently as well, right? Because unfortunately, some of us get locked out a door and we don't even know how to even survive when we go out there. So, yeah. So let's sort that out now, yeah. Right, my sister.
I'm gonna love the family and leave the family.
Yeah, it's nice to listen to you, my sister, and thanks for your knowledge as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're getting enough rest now. Go and get some rest now.
All right.
All right, then we link up on the risings, yeah. All right, that's our sister Sandra. She's gonna have to get something, because remember now, she's up at, this is what 2:30 in the morning now for her, you know. Right?
Well, it's for me now. What's the time now? It's coming towards 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning. So you're ready. You're ready
Yeah.
to get up and do your up to the mosque then. Sun rising.
Yeah, soon, yes. Because you said as I'm hearing the big snake, you know. So
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. And that's a beautiful time to get up, man. That's a beautiful time to get up in the morning, man. I'm telling you. I'm falling into the regular pattern of that this cycle of this year, you know. I'm getting into the regular pattern of waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So
Well, as I said, I from childhood, that has been my pattern because I said because we had farms, I had, as I said, I had all the animals. I had goats, sheep, goats, cattle, everything. I own those things from a child because I said when my parents leave, they leave me with some of these things, and then my uncle also gave me some more goats, some sheep, and other things. So I had to look after them, tend them. So I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go and tend these things, you know, and bring milk the cattle, bring back the milk, and dish it out, all these things before I go to school. So yeah, so I'm very much accustomed to that rising. As I said, I see the morning star. It's like, because where we're living in the west of the country, and there's a mountain in the middle. So every day the sun rises over that mountain, and also the morning star also used to rise over that mountain. You know, so I see the morning star rise in the east every morning.
all right, that's it. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. All right. So we're here on the Galaxy of ForWe.net, and we're doing our Grand Risings. So look at that. We're Grand Risings in Africa, in the Caribbean. And all those who want to join in, you're more than welcome to come and join in on the Grand Risings. Let the unification start from here. Ubuntu. Yeah, man. Bless up. Brother Akram?
Yes.
All right. Let me just relate something to you. I had to come to the studio late last night, and it just happened to be on the midnight hour. Yeah. On my returning home now, I was walking back to the apartments where I'm staying at the moment, and I passed the queue of people outside of the cash points. And I'm thinking, why are these people outside the cash points? And it's only when I got down the road, I thought, oh, you know what it may be? That their wages are going into their bank account, and they're looking to get some money, or checking, say that the money's in their account. And I will say this as well. What I observed as well, they were all men.
Right.
They're all men, right? And where some of them had checked it, and you know, my assumption is that whatever they were expecting wasn't there, right? And then you could see like the despair on some of their faces, right? But I never really checked it at the time as I was walking. It was only like as I reflected back on what was before, what I was seeing before. When I check it out,
which area was this?
This is in the Peckham. This is in the Peckham area.
Peckham area,
right?
okay.
And I passed about two cash points, and on each one of them there was like 6 on one and probably about 8 on the other. And then I thought to myself, wow, look at the impact of this thing here, what society is dragging people to, right? And I thought, and I just had to have that moment of like saying, boy, look at this. And then I was just being in a grateful moment of where I am personally, even though, you know, the challenges I'm facing and everything else. And I sat down outside the apartment for a little while, you know, and I sat there for a little while and I thought, wow, look at this. And then it just happens that somebody called me at the time. So we was just in discussion about what was happening for a while, you know. So I went inside, but I didn't go directly to sleep. So as I'm sitting there, probably about 30 minutes later, I see a flash, you know when you see the emergency service and the blue flashing light passing by. And I look up and a couple of minutes again, the flashing light is still there. And I'm thinking, what's going on? So as I look out now, and I'm not one to usually push my nose in a thing, but as I'm there, I see all these emergency vehicles outside. They lock off the road and everything, you know? And I thought to myself, what's going on here? Curiosity pushed me to come out the door, right? So I put my shoes back on again and I walk down to the front. And when I get down there, there's a police there and they said, oh, do you want to come out? And I said, no, I'll just come in just to see if it like is a road accident or somebody I might know or something because it's in the local area or something, you know? And they said, no, because it's a stabbing, right? Let me tell you something. My heart dropped. And you know what was on my mind? And I don't have no evidence of this. But it's the thought of all those men out there, right? Those what went to the cash points there, and those who probably never got what they needed or whatever. And then out of desperation, somebody has done something stupid. You understand?
Right.
And my heart dropped. My heart dropped, right? Because it could have easily been one of them man there, or even the man get a money, and then the next man come and take that from him. You understand, right? I don't know the circumstances of whatever. All I know that somebody got stabbed out there, and I thought, wow, look at this. And this was in the time that I was inside my apartment there, so, and not even 200 meters from where I'm living there, so. Yeah. I go, this is how desperate life is getting. This is how desperate life is getting.
As I said, you know, the problem that we have, the problem that I'm looking at, and as I said, you know, I have this discussion with my wife all the time, and what always brings me back to, right, like in Africa there with the leaders and the other things, is the mindset. There's no white man there telling them that they have, there's no white man there, you know, taking us out or doing whatever. And why is it that our own people behaving in the manner that they're behaving instead of wanting to take care of their brothers and sisters? There is more than enough in the world. How much money do they need? You know, why they stealing all this money? She was telling me about a situation where one of the ministers at one time, right, was in charge of a certain section in the medical field. And because they eat the money, her own mother at one stage wanted that same equipment that they ignored. You understand me? Because she was in that department, supposed to look over those departments. And then the money was not there for that particular machine that her mother later needed. You see what I'm saying? Because all they think about is me now, and this and that. And they're not thinking of all the other people. Let us bring our people along. Let us help our people to come up. Why? Don't ever think, why is it that we're in this state that we're in? And then do they not feel embarrassed that we're in the state that we're in? You know, do they not feel, everybody else wants their people the nation to be proud. We don't want to be beggars. We don't want to be thieves. We want people to be proud, you know, people to be proud of us, you know. And as I said, many years ago, one of our brothers from Jamaica, he had a Japanese in his car. And as I said, Japanese, what we find as a people, nation of people, they hardly give us any problem. As cab drivers, we hardly get any problems with that. You know, of all the people that we carry, the Japanese hardly ever give any problem. And so he was asking this Japanese guy, because the guy was drunk, you know, so he's asking, how come you people don't give problem? What the guy said? Japanese ambassador. Japanese ambassador. Do we?
That is what they all carry that badge.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't we carry that badge? Why can't we carry that badge? We look at others, I think, but why don't we look at ourselves? Right? Why don't we carry that badge of honor? I'm an ambassador. So when I go someplace, you know, I'm carrying the badge of honor for my people, that other people will see us and respect us when they see us. But the point is, when we behave in a certain way, and people come, oh, he's walking past, I got to hold my handbag, I got to hold this. Where did that image come from? Because one of us choose to go down that road in order to, you know, to make us. He's not thinking about the community. You follow what I'm saying, right? And that is our problem, brother. You know, and that is why I'm saying we so much need the cooperative. We so much need that family thing to come back, where people can start respecting us, because somehow or the other we've lost that respect somewhere. You know, I'm not saying that all of us is like that, but there are many of us who, you know, is in that field, and I witnessed it, and I'm telling you that the cab driver, because I'm out there, I'm seeing all the different people, I'm mixing with all the different people and so forth. I said, there was one time, even my wife, when she was pregnant, she stand up on the street in Rotterdam, can't get a taxi. Taxi's passing by because she's black. You understand me? I've seen it. I've seen many. Because why? Because people say, well, I'm not picking them up, because when I pick them up, there are problems. Not all of us, but some of us.
Let alone that be a man.
you understand me? You see?
Yeah.
But even women too, because I've had women who have given me problems. I've tried to help them, and in the process of trying to help, because I'm saying, well, here's one of our sisters, she's in problem. She says, okay, take me to this place and then give me a problem. Why? Because you're trying to help. You understand me? Because you're saying, well, at least, you know, so and so. But no. And that sort of puts you off. You know, say, well, is this what I come out here for? You know what I'm saying? Is this why I leave my family to come out here and then to have this abuse? You know what I'm saying? You know? And that is our problem, brother. These are some of the things that I'm looking and I'm saying we have to, you know, rectify these avenues. That's why I continue to say, how can we rectify it? Only rectify it if we can see ourselves as a family. And the cooperative way, I believe, is something that can, if we could understand it, bring us back to that sense of, you know, that way we do for ourselves. You understand me? And bring back that respect and that love that we had before.
I feel that we need to re-evaluate ourselves. And when I say reevaluate where we are, who we are, and where we're going. Right? Even to the extent of possibly reinventing ourselves. Right? And I mean this very seriously, because what we are, where we are right now, serves us to keep us where we are right now. To move, you have to make a change. You have to make a change. Yeah?
Yeah, most certainly we have to make.
So therefore, there's no no real shame in saying, you know something, boy, I have to change my standards, my requirements. I have to up my standards, and for those who are around me as well. Right. This is why, even with the education of our youngs, right, I am kind of frustrated, to be honest. I am frustrated that we are still having extensive failure within a substandard schooling system. Right. In other words, we are failing a substandard educational system. Right. Let that sink in for a moment. Let that sink in for a moment. Substandard educational system we're failing in. Right. We're supposed to be excellence. Excellence.
Most certainly, yeah. Most certainly. You know,
This substandard educational system is supposed to be a breeze for us. Right? You understand? When the university is supposed to be knocking on our door, not us knocking on their door. Right? And in fact, the standard of education that we require for us to build our new generation should not be found within this system, right? Because it is not going to be there.
Well, as I said, you know, we have to be mindful that we have to do it for ourselves. Nobody, as Michael said, is going to do it for us. And you know, as I said to children and so forth, look, never mind what the teacher is doing. You got to focus on what you want, because at the end of the day, if you don't learn, it's not the teacher who's going to be saying, it's you, right? So whether you like the teacher or whether the teacher is this or that, you go there to learn, right? You understand me? Pay attention to what is being on the board. Never mind what the teacher, because you're there alongside the other children. So if the other children are coming out with A's, well, you also need to be coming out with A's, because you're watching the same thing on the board. But if you say, well, oh, I'm not going to learn because the teacher is bad, then who's the failure? You, because the teacher is still going to get his wages. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See? And these are the ways that I look at life. What's going to be beneficial for me? You know, at the end of the day, you see. And I say, I mean, you know, it's the way that we look at life, and sometimes again, it's the way sometimes people bring things over to us. And I'll give you an example, for instance. And because I work, as you know, long hours and so forth. My wife, because since '95, I wanted to leave this country, and then at '95 I had an accident and so forth. My wife was back in 2000. I sent my family back home to Africa. So I'm here because the only work that I can do is here in England, because that's where I trained to do the work. I can't take it somewhere else with me, so I have to come here and do the work. But my wife is there. People are saying, "Oh, your husband is away all this time and this and that." So, well, he's there always out. You see what I'm saying? You see how people are putting things in their head that you know, because I'm away from this and that. She's looking, hey, yeah, that's fine. But she's not there. What happened? We start. You see what I'm saying? So another woman now would take it up. Oh yeah, he's away, so I have to go and do this, and I have to go and do this and so forth. You follow what I'm saying? And it's sometimes it's just the way the mind thinks. You see, you know, and that is our downfall, because somebody else is pushing you to go and do evil, or to, you understand me, or to break up your family, or whatever it is, right? You understand what I'm saying? And that's one of the biggest problems that we're facing, because somebody else is not, and instead of encouraging you to be that part,
that has been the how can I put it good now? That has been the workings of the system anyhow. right? They've never respected us, and they don't intend to respect us in any way, right? Even the values of family values, they have destroyed, and they're in the process of destroying that, right? So, and they don't even give you a platform. They don't even give you a platform to even discuss it, right? Establishing family values. They would prefer those who were having children, right, to just hand them over to the system, right, so that they can corrupt their minds in a sense of, oh, you don't have to listen to your parents, right? And if your parents do anything to you, they will be the ones getting into trouble. And they're emphasizing on that even more. They're emphasizing that even more now, right? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man, the way how life is turning out right now.
Well, yeah, that's the destruction of the family, isn't it? Because it's, you're trying to bring each other and whatever it is, and they're telling each other, don't listen to him, don't pay attention. If he does this, you come and many of our people don't see the necessary of fighting it. That's the problem, right? Because it's your children, and you're the one who have the responsibility in the end, right? When they go out there and they do something wrong, the government is not going to be lenient with them. They're going to put them in prison, right? Which is more harsher than the 2 slaps you might give them.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, I just think to myself,
yeah, you see what I'm saying, right? See me, they say, oh, you shouldn't, but you might give them 2 slaps. But the fact is, if you don't, and they go out there and they're evil on the street or whatever, when the government catch them, they're going to give them a lot more than the 2 slaps you might have given them.
Well, that's what they signed up for. That's exactly what they signed up for. So, who are we to argue with that?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, sorry. I'm talking with them things down.
Sorry?
I'm talking away with the slide down.
Okay.
I apologize. Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying that the system has hold on. Sorry. The system itself has blatantly undermined the family, right? The values of the family have been totally destroyed. They want you to hand their children over to the system so that they can corrupt the minds of the children, right? So that they will have no identification themselves. The fact that they will have no identification means they will have no direction. Yeah. Even to say family values is not even in the equation no more. There's no family value, right? They don't even put that onto the itinerary of discussion. Yeah. So
and that is very sad. And I said it's for us to wake up and realize these things, because I say we shouldn't allow them to do this to us. We should not allow them. Understand? Because you see, we all have a responsibility and a duty. Okay? And no one should take away that responsibility and duty from us. You understand? These are our rights. And our right, to me, is being attacked upon. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't have any right. So the law has every right over you, but you don't have any rights at all. No, we have a right. You understand? And we should stand up for those rights, and don't let ourselves pushed around by the law, by these new systems that they have. You know, I mean, they take control over our lives. Wait a minute. Do I not have a responsibility for myself?
Mm.
You understand me? And do I not have a responsibility for my family?
Exactly. Do we not have any responsibility? Come on now. What a foolishness that, man. What foolishness that.
It is a foolish.
Right then, listen, we're coming to the top of the hour. We're coming to the closing of the show. This rising, okay?
Yeah, thank you anyway. Thanks for taking my call and for allowing me to share my my thoughts and everything, and I hope that that someone may learn, and maybe hopefully we will start on the road of, as I said, that to me is the self-repair ourselves. You understand?
Definitely.
Knowing that we have values and we need to work towards those values.
Absolutely. 100%. 100% on that. Right? Listen, we're going to be at the top of the hour. We should be turning over to our Dr. Oliver. Right? I don't even know if he's in the country yet, but anyhow. I know he's wherever he is, he's enjoying himself because it'll just be a big smile
upon
his face.
Yeah,
he's coming up.
I'll probably have a listening,
Yeah, man. All right, then. Listen, you have a resting up day, right? And I know you're going off to prayers now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, you take care now.
Okay.
Now. All right, then. Let's up.
All right, go ahead,
Yeah, man. Right, yeah. So at the top of the hour, we shall be turning to going over to our Dr. Oliver, right? Whether he's here or there, wherever he is in the world, we shall be linking up with him on the galaxyofawee.net. I want to thank you for coming with us this morning on our rising here, and I truly hope that the person who was injured near me, that we will recover well. Or I say he, the person, whoever the person is, will recover well there. And let's just be mindful of who we are, where we are, what we're doing. Let's develop that inner dialogue, which we need to do for ourselves. Okay, so let's have a great day, and let's move on in a powerful way. So next up, you shall hear is going to be Dr. Oliver.
Oh, hey,
Grand Risings.
oh, yeah. I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, putting it round my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go, it won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my soul, singing loud and strong, moving on this freedom, putting it in my soul, letting the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden. I'm holding on to my freedom, take it from me. Oh, freedom. Oh yes, yes, yes. There was never deceive me, no, no, no. Though it's hard to be, man still I carry the load, even though it's a heavy load.